Hi Virgo, this is your self-love reading. Please keep in mind that this is a general reading and this will not resonate for every single Virgo out there. Let's get started. As you guys can tell, I already went and pulled a card for you guys. So we guys got spaciousness. What do I no longer need? Help me, God, to release whatever people, place, or thing drained my vital essence. Show me that will fill me with enthusiasm and joy. So for some of my Virgos, you guys, I can't remember who else had this card, but somebody else did. And for a lot of you guys, I think it was Pisces. No, it was not Pisces. I'm not sure who it was, but somebody else had this exact same card. And this really made me realize that, for a lot of us, we allow other people to take charge, to control us, to keep us from perhaps really being who we truly are. We allow other people, like energy vampires, people to consistently take our energy, and that might not always be the best thing for us, right? But because we associate, because we always allow other people to have power over us or to take charge of us as individuals, it can oftentimes be really hard to move past places, circumstances, situations. A lot of us don't allow ourselves to really feel joy in life anymore, don't really allow ourselves to find what makes us feel fulfilled. And because of that, we put ourselves down consistently and we allow other people to put us down. And now we have a viewpoint of who we think we are, when really in reality, we might not really be that way. So here we have the Princess of Wands. We have the Three of Swords. We have the Death card. We have the Universe or the World card. We have the Hierophant. We have the King of Swords. And we have the Blasted Tower. All right. So for some of my Virgos, I think what has happened for quite a bit of you guys. Now, I don't want to make this all about like, oh, a love reading or anything, because this is supposed to be about self, right? But our relationships can impede on how we view ourselves, and it can change how our perceptions change. For some of you, though, I was sensing, obviously, with this Three of Swords there, I'm feeling like people have put you down enough, Virgo, that you don't even know what makes you happy anymore. Do you really, like, those of you who have tuned in, can you be honest and really be like, okay, yeah, actually, I'm not really that happy, or yeah, I don't really know what makes me happy. A lot of us, we don't like to admit this, okay? Because everybody is guilty of this to some extent or another in their life. When we don't really know what makes us happy anymore. We always worry about other people's happiness. We're always there for other people. But when push comes to shove, right, we don't really know deep down what makes us happy. We don't really know what's a fulfillment to us individually. And I think that's what's happening for a lot of my Virgos is you guys are starting to reach to this point, Virgo, to perhaps you don't know what makes you happy anymore. And I keep sensing there's pain. And now we have the Ten of Swords and now we have the Three of Swords. So you guys have like all of the cards that indicate pain and frustration. And now you guys are feeling almost like you don't have a say in life anymore. Or you might not have a say in certain relationships. Because it almost seems like for some of you guys, you've allowed other people's opinions to affect us, right? We allow other people and perhaps how other people might view us or the world in our way of viewing and judging ourselves. Because even as a child, we can't help but take everything personally, because as a kid, we we come to this world feeling whole, feeling like we are everyone and everything. But then people brainwash us, or people put us through habits, or make us, like, sometimes we carry our own parents' belief systems when they really aren't our own. And for some of my Virgos, I really was sensing that perhaps that you've been around people, and now that you've had circumstances and places, that you've lost your true authenticity. You've lost who you truly are as an individual. I think for some of you guys, you've just lost your passion. You lost your enthusiasm for life. And for some of you, because we have this death card here and it's in the upright, you could have, and I'm not really sensing that you really lost somebody, like they actually passed away. But for some of you, that could be the case. And if so, I'm sorry. But for others of you guys, I was sensing that this is a relationship that could have ended, that could have had a massive impact on your life. And because we had the Hierophant in the reverse, it does seem like for some of you guys, you could have gotten a divorce, or you could have just broken up with the person. Or I'm just feeling like a lot of my Virgos have felt a sense of abandonment and a sense of loss throughout most of their lives. And because of that, I think that it is impeded upon my Virgo sense of self-esteem and self-worth, and really knowing who they are as an individual. So for a lot of you guys, I think that because of, due to this pain and due to this frustration that you guys might have experienced, especially at maybe at a young age too, for some of you guys, I think that it has caused you guys to really stifle your own growth, really stifle who you are. You might have allowed other people to shine, because perhaps if you would shine, others would try and put you down, or maybe it wasn't super safe for you to show who you really were. And because of that, you hid your light, and it caused a lot of pain. And when you go out to the real world and you go out to people every single day you meet, you might find still that sense of core wounding that you have. For some of you, I'm also feeling this, and this isn't going to be for every single Virgo, but for some of you guys, you might have had a parent or somebody that was important to you that have probably belittled you in front of other people, and because of that, it has impeded your self-worth and how you're afraid of how others might view you, or you might be afraid of being made fun of in those areas, because you could have had people belittle you that way. But it also could have just been all of these life circumstances that you have grown, that deep down you feel like the world is an unsafe place for you. You don't feel very safe where you are, Virgo. And I think it's because you guys experienced so much disappointment, and you've experienced so much, you might have experienced a lot of people that could have harmed you, because we also have here the Tower in the blocked position. And due to that, that could have been a past event that you're still reliving in your mind consistently. It's a block. Whatever this happened and whatever occurred, it hasn't allowed you to really let go. And it was almost like it was something that came to a shock to you that perhaps you still just can't quite release. You just don't know how to let it go. And for some of you, it really could have been a death. This could have been a death of a parent. This could have just been the death of a relationship. It just feels like for some of you guys, it's just a heavy sense of grief and loss that my Virgos are feeling. And because of that, that might have really, like I said, impacted you when your everyday life, who you are as a person. That really could have impacted you and really caused a lot of you guys to withhold and withdraw who you really are as an individual due to this. And because of that, it also might have put you guys in positions to where life really did make it unfair. You might have sacrificed a lot of your well-being in the name of other people. And because of that, you're now having to really see and learn from your own experiences and know who you truly are. Because for some of you guys, you might have this fear of really showing who you truly are because of being judged, or because of perhaps past circumstances that have left you to this point. So for some of you guys, you are now starting to really find who you truly are as an individual. What's happening here as well is I feel like for some of you guys, you might have a hard time saying no. You might have a really hard time really showing your true boundaries. Because for some of you guys, because due to all this past pain and all of this frustration and perhaps all of this hurt that you've experienced, because we have the Three of Swords again as a clarifier, you guys have dealt with quite a bit, Virgo. And it feels like a heavy energy that you guys are going through. But what is happening is it's that self, it's that rejection that you have for yourself that has hurt you, that has caused you to not really see your actual value. And because of that, you're holding yourself back because you're so worried of really going forward. You're so worried of really putting yourself back out there, you know? That's just really kind of what it seems like. I feel like for some of you guys could have, like, you need that space. You need to pull away from other people to really figure out who you are as an individual. You guys are going to have been told your whole life, oh, I know what's best for you. Oh, I know who you truly are. I know what you really want. You know, things like that. And because of that, this really could have affected you guys on a fundamental level. And now you're starting to realize who you truly are outside of the people that have harmed you. And that's just kind of what it seems. It's like I said, it's very heavy. And I hope that this is making sense so far to you guys. And if this is resonating, I do wish you guys the bestest of luck, because it does seem like for some of you, there's just a lot of pain and trauma that has been stored in your guys' body. Therapy could probably really help you guys. For some of you guys, you could be going through therapy right now and trying to get the help that you need. Because I'm not really feeling like you guys are like unstable, like emotionally, but I really am like, well, emotionally, I feel like you guys can be kind of unstable, but I don't feel like you guys are really like unstable individuals. But it feels like due to just past circumstances and things that have led you to this point, you guys might put yourselves down a lot. You guys might question yourselves a lot, and you might have a hard time as well, Virgo, in making a solid decision for yourself. You might go back and forth and never quite know what decision to make for yourselves. You might always be asking other people for opinions because you don't you question who you are, you question your morals, you question your own values. And because of that, that might also be an issue, is you're needing to find, first off, what really makes you happy, but also who you really are, what makes you essentially tick. Because it seems almost though as if you allowed other people to control you and to control the circumstances that you have up to this point. And because of that, that actually might have pushed you guys to devaluing your own opinion, Virgo, and now you're having to find that again. So here we have, I open my mind and say yes to life. Life is inviting you to experience a whole new level of happiness, healing, prosperity, success, and love. I am flourishing. Imagine your income expanding easily and effortlessly. Trust that all your material needs are being met by the universe. I am willing to let love in. Open your arms wide and say, I am willing to let love in. It is safe to let love in. Repeat 3 times. Love speaks to me all through the day. When you don't know what to do, focus on love. Love is an infinite intelligence that will always help you if you let it. And yeah, I was sensing for a lot of you guys, you're in a consistent perpetual state of fear. And I think that's just due to making sure that you have everything you need, right? Having to have all of the stuff that you guys just worry about your well-being. You worry about other people's well-being. And because of that, it stresses you guys out. You guys, I feel like you're having to come to that part where you're having to find that willingness. The willingness to change, the willingness to find your true self, right? And it takes time, and it takes a lot of that trust in the universe, the trust in yourself, because it's scary to trust the universe. It's scary to trust oneself when you're not sure what may or may not happen to you, right? It's a very scary thought. It's a very scary process in which we go through on a daily basis. But when you learn to release and let go, you will find that it is actually a lot easier than you realize. You know, when you give yourself that space, give yourself that time, you could be surrounding yourselves with people that don't deserve you and that make you consistently worry about your own needs. And it's because other people don't take care of your needs, but you might take care of others. Feel like you're getting drained. And for a lot of you guys, you're just not sleeping well, you're not eating right, you're just not taking care of yourself because you're always taking care of others. And now, Virgo, it's the time to take care of yourself, because you can't keep pouring into other people's cups if you can't pour your own cup first. Because at that point, you're just pouring an empty cup. So we have cooperation, which was in the reverse. In your request to manifest the energy of love, you realize that every person and experience has value. Exactly. For some of you guys, you might have thought that you were probably the most unluckiest person for dealing with perhaps people that are energy vampires, people that consistently hurt you or devalue you on a daily basis. But when we have people like that in our lives, first off, it teaches us what we really truly deserve, which we need to let go of those types of people because they don't deserve us. But also it teaches us lessons about ourselves. If we realize that other people are consistently degrading us, why are we doing it to ourselves? Because everyone is a mirror, right? The universe is mirroring back to you. If you're always in a perpetual state of, oh, how am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? And you're always in a state of fear, Virgo, you're going to only manifest more of that fear. But when you learn to find love in yourself and learn to value yourself, when you let go of people that no longer serve you and you let them leave your life, it leaves room for new people to come into your life, because the universe has to fill that void. There can't just be a void there, right? Things have to fill that empty space. So allow yourself to have that space. We have peacefulness. You recognize that balance, kindness, and love brings calmness to your soul. Yes. I think you've been around people that have a lot of drama, perhaps, or have a lot of problems. And when you withdraw and when you pull back from people like that, you almost find a sense of peace, right? When you realize that your life is a lot more peaceful when you cut people out of your life, then keep them out of your life, right? Because you don't want to have people that steal away that peace, steal away that peace of mind for you, Virgo. Because if you do that, then you're losing so much every single day. You're putting yourself through unnecessary pain when you really don't need it. So here we have acceptance, which is also in the reverse. You are ready to release control of situation or people, lovingly embracing the rhythm of life. That's exactly it. You have to learn to accept that there are people that you cannot change. There are people that are not willing to change, that are not willing to cooperate with you, that are not willing to put in that effort. And peace and a peace of mind and who you truly are as an individual is so much more important than what other people can give you. When you realize that it's worth keeping, when you realize that it's worth having this individuality, you start to find that you don't want to be around people that don't love and value you. You don't want to be around people that consistently hurt you and always put things against you. So because of that, you have to learn to release that. You have to learn to let things go. And when you do that, that's when you're going to really find peace. And that's when you're going to really find who is meant to be in your life, who is really authentic, who is really meant to have your back. And it requires you to actually learn to let it go. So that's what I have for my Virgos. I hope that this resonates for you guys. I hope that you guys do find the strength that you have in order to let go of people, places, and circumstances that no longer resonate for you. You are slowly learning to evolve, Virgo, and you have to be kind to yourself. We always need to know that, just because other people might view us in a negative light doesn't mean that it's true. And when you learn to let that go, when you learn to let go of other people's opinions and circumstances and thoughts about you, you start to realize that they never really mattered in the first place. So that's what I have for you, Virgos. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you guys have a great and wonderful day. Thank you. Bye.